Welcome to show. I am Clint, and I am here with
the Devo
and Gooch,
and we are the Social Deviants.
You guys are, not me. I'm a saint.
Gooch, you're more than just a social deviant. You are a multifaceted deviant.
You're the worst of us all.
Yes.
Yeah, sure I am.
And
Hey, who bought you guys? Who bought you guys Jamba Juice? This guy.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Because you're trying to get something out of us later on, you deviant.
You do realize you could just take what you want from him, right? You don't have to lube him up with that strawberries wild.
Well, then it tastes better that way.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah.
It's,
Try it.
it's more tingly when it's like cold.
Try it.
Good point.
I'll cut you. I'll cut you up the middle.
Eat that butthole.
Speaking of Welcome to Die, the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about before we get into our topic for the day is
The Xmen.
the Xmen. And I thought of this because I saw an article this morning about there was a poster that showed Apocalypse's face, and it was the scene where he's holding Mystique by the neck it's suspended in the air.
Yeah.
And it was just a poster of his face looking away, and then her being choked. And Rose McGowan made some sort of tweet about this, saying that her daughter asked her, why is that man hurting the woman? And she said that, I guess there's something about there's not a woman director on Fox's movie release list for the next 2 or 3 years or something.
Uh-huh.
And she said the least you could do is not promote, violence against women. And so they actually took that poster down.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was a cool looking poster, but I understand
cool.
why they took it down and why it probably shouldn't be a poster. But it was still a pretty cool picture.
I thought it was cool.
And the other thing too is Mystique is not a normal woman. She could kill anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different.
Well, the thing is,
she's not helpless.
Don't get me wrong. I think what Rose McGowan was saying was a little bit. I mean, I understand
I understand what she's saying,
the
though.
woman's viewpoint, but I mean, the guy's a villain. It's freaking Apocalypse.
He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. And what
She's
do
a
bad guys
good
do?
person, and he wants to destroy her.
Exactly. He wants to destroy the world. And
You know what? I want Rose McGowan's little daughter to watch the movie Jawbreaker. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's a scene where she is in a bar, and she goes after this dude who is portrayed by her ex-boyfriend, Marilyn Manson. And her character in this movie...
She's reformed, Evan.
Her character in this movie kills men. And
That's not frowned upon
and
in our society.
you know what she does? She lures him with the appetite of sex, and there's a scene where he's going to town on her doggy style, pounding away, and then she kills the character.
Nice.
I wonder what her daughter has to say about that.
True.
We can ask her in about 15 years when she gets old enough to see it.
But of course, that wasn't shown
10
on the
years.
poster.
True.
You know what? I'm gonna make
think it's more-
I'm gonna
That
make
should've
a
been
poster.
That should have been a poster.
I think it's more just about what you're using to advertise the
Yeah, I
film
think that's what really comes down
is the
to,
question. And I think that to some extent there should be there should be some sort of moral compass of those types of things. Because
I agree.
it's different when you're watching a movie that's a rated R, PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
But when you put a poster up, that could be seen by anybody.
And now I haven't seen the poster, but I have seen that scene in the trailer.
Yeah.
Where he's holding her over some precipice or some ledge, and he's got her by the neck, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
if those two characters fight at all in the movie, are they not allowed to show any of that in fear of hurting people's feelings?
I mean, I think that what you're talking about is that
Can they only
eventually
show man-on-man combat?
You won't be able to
female-on-female combat?
It's just always this weird thing where okay, so say you have this movie that's just a regular movie. It's not about superheroes and stuff like that. And it's some biopic or something, right? And the guy's in his house and the chick says something to a Tina Turner movie. Let's say it's Tina Turner and Ike just backhands her, right?
Right.
And hits her. And then people it's that really happened. But there's going to be a point where that's not acceptable to put in the movie. We were just like the Prince movie, what is it, Purple Rain?
Yeah.
She's like, I want to go with Morris. It's bad. Fool just looks at her, smash the shit out of her, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Are you okay, baby?" She's like, "No, I ain't okay, motherfucker. You just smacked the shit out of me." You know what I mean? And then she jumps out the window, and it's like that shit's shocking to watch now because you don't see shit like that in movies. You know what I mean? And so to some extent, I think it is becoming unacceptable to see shit like that in movies.
I don't know.
But I think the problem is I think people like little girl said. I think the people need to take it out of context because it's just one slide. I think that's what it is. And if you see the whole film and you see the whole part of that movie, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, obviously, but it's a whole fight scene. Apocalypse is beating her up, obviously. It's apocalypse. But in reality, you view that and you don't understand what's happening in the movie. You can see it.
There's no context.
There's no context
aren't
to
there
it.
scenes where Psylocke's fighting Beast?
Yeah, but
Can we not show that? Because I don't want to see a blue man beating up a woman.
No, the thing is though is that it's not. I mean, I think in the movie it's fine. I think it's just when it's a still on a poster somewhere. I think people can take it out of context. If you watch the movie, it's perfectly fine. I think it's perfectly fine.
I think so too.
I think it's perfectly fine in the film. Because I mean, Beast.
I mean, this fool was getting attacked by like 5, 6, 7 people at the time. This fool held her there to like get out of my face so I can like do something.
Yeah.
With someone else.
So
you know what I mean?
So I think it's just since it's one scene out of context. If you don't know what's happening in the movie, or if you don't even know about comic books, and that's what you see. It could be a 9-year-old girl. So it could be a little bit. Like,
then the responsibility is up to Rose McGowan to be like, "Hey, this is a fictional story."
I totally agree. I totally agree with that too.
But does that mean that the posters? Does that mean the poster's appropriate though? That still doesn't.
Again, I haven't seen the poster. I don't know what the poster looks like. I know that scene, and that scene, it's the screenshots all over the. Oh shit. It's all over the web, but
yeah, I thought the poster was fine, but then again, we're men, so I don't know, and I don't have a little daughter to tell him like, oh, what's wrong with him? I'm like, well, he's a bad guy, and he's, fighting a hero. Right. What happens when bad guys fight heroes? They get beat up. Yep. Whether it's men or women, bad guys beat up heroes. What can you do?
That's the screenshot from the movie.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's really,
and that's what's been going on. It's.
Yeah, that is a screenshot from it. That's really good.
But that's not the post. That's not a poster.
It is a poster.
Yeah, that's the part.
That's what they've been hanging that in movie theaters left and right.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
That's not a poster. If it's a poster, it's going to say Xmen Apocalypse it's coming out, May 27th. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
that's just a screenshot from the movie. And if somebody's printing that and putting that all over movie theaters, I mean,
it's a similar. It's that scene, but like in a poster form. That one. But like I said,
it was in print form.
Like I said,
I have not seen it, so I can't.
Like I said, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. But again, it comes down to the parents to tell the kids that it's a fictitious movie about heroes and villains. One's a hero, one's a villain. It just happens to be a female, and the male. I don't even know if Apocalypse is a man. It's just whatever.
And I mean, he started off as a man.
He started off as a man. Now he's just a being. He's the being of.
He's an entity.
Of immense power.
And speaking of Psylocke, like I'm not an Olivia Munn fan. I actually don't like Olivia Munn, and I'm not really thinking I never really thought, like she's all hot and everything. I'm like she's pretty, but I'm not like all about her. But I will have to admit, in the Psylocke outfit, damn.
She looked good.
She looked like a perfect Psylocke.
She did.
My understanding, she doesn't have a whole lot of talking.
Yeah, you know what? That was the best part.
And it's true. And like even her story they didn't really kind of explain it that well.
Well, and she was just a mutant that was there. I mean, that's all.
But at the end, she was like angry. I'm like, why? Like, tell me why. You know what I mean? Like, but
Psylocke.
You saw the movie, Clint?
I did see the movie.
Okay.
No. I don't want to say too many things about it.
Who cares? Who cares? Screw them.
Hey, man.
Okay, now here's my thing.
Well, you put spoilers and shit on.
Yeah, screw those spoilers. People, you know what? Screw you guys. I didn't see X-Men. That's your problem.
Hey, man, I'm a nerd.
Here's my thing, man.
True.
I believe.
I don't know if you saw this part, Devo, but remember, I don't know if you saw when he gets rid of the nukes.
No.
Okay, so there's a scene where he gets rid of the nukes. He just like sends them all into the atmosphere and then
Apocalypse?
explode. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, no more weapons and shit like that, right? He's like, I want to make this world better. And it was weird because like I always felt like he was a more evil character in the comic or in the cartoon. And this one, like, I'm not saying he was good, but he actually just kept saying, I want to make the world better. And I was thinking, is the world a better place without the nukes? Like maybe, and he was like, okay, maybe he had no like, care for human life. Like he was going to destroy the world. And if humans lived, well, they lived. If they didn't, well, they didn't. And we're probably going to rule over the humans anyways. But like, I was thinking to myself, like, he didn't seem that evil. I was like kind of rooting for him in some ways.
Well, I think he did it mainly because those weapons could actually hurt him. He says no more spears, no more swords, no more
bombs,
bombs, right?
Yeah.
The stuff that can hurt him. Mm-hmm. A nuclear bomb, as strong as he is, you send a few nuclear bombs at me, I'm pretty sure he's going to get stopped, and he's up to get stopped enough to where
you
he's
think that he got stopped too easy in the movie though?
No, because most of the time it ends up being Professor X and Jean Grey that stop him mentally. And in this one, the only thing I didn't like was that like she kind of showed her Phoenix form, which she didn't have until later on. But
yeah.
That's pretty much. I mean, that's how they stopped him. So like Jean Grey. I like that whole process because in reality, the way they stop really powerful entities, the X-Men, is how if Professor X works with Jean Grey,
Yep.
or they work with other telepaths to stop them. And Psylocke is part of that, by the way. Psylocke is actually a very powerful telepath.
Yeah.
So
Which they didn't play off at all.
No, they didn't play it off at all. But and I don't even think that he would have needed, Professor X in that case. If Psylocke is very powerful
Enough for herself.
enough for herself.
Hence her name, right?
Enough, exactly. She was a very powerful telepath. He could have just taken her over, and it would have gotten the mind reading abilities. She's dumb. So I mean, that is if people know it's true. She's very powerful telepath. So. That's
Is
how
that whole thing where he takes over people's powers? That's what I was like. That's not.
as far as
He doesn't take over.
no,
people.
as far as I know, he doesn't because
he has power over matter.
Did
Right?
Did he do that in the movie?
they did in the
did.
movie. Like well, that's pretty much his Lazarus chamber.
Yeah.
where like he would that's how he got a bunch of other mutants' powers that like he would kind of Doctor Who themselves into that body. And then he would not only take over their body but also acquire their mutant power.
He didn't run into Wolverine at all, did he?
No, but Wolverine was in there as Weapon
Yeah.
X. So
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Yeah.
Looked tight.
He looked cool. I was like, that's cool.
The way
Pretty
that whole scene was pretty dope.
that
The
was
way
pretty
they did
dope.
it.
I haven't seen the scene yet,
I was
but-
surprised at how violent it was. Actually,
It was
enjoyed
really violent. It was really
enjoyed
bloody,
Good.
actually.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So
It's good.
It was good.
But like I said, you said that the movie wasn't. I thought it was okay. I mean, I don't think it was as good as the first one.
Okay.
I liked at the end where he was like, "It's all revealed now," because it was like almost like he. Like that's why I felt like it was weird because I felt like
Well, they didn't-
Apocalypse he was like okay if he died.
Oh,
He
'cause-
just wanted like the
because he never-
mutants to be together.
No, because
he didn't want them to be divided.
He's not dead. He can't kill Apocalypse.
But it's a movie though, so he is dead.
He might be. I don't.
No,
think
because
so.
in movies you can't really bring him back like that because people are like, well, you went to the well too many times, or you like it has to be bigger and bigger every time. It's like the nature of Hollywood movie making.
well,
Yeah, but in the movie when he starts off, he's buried under that pyramid for how many years?
Yeah.
Like hundreds and hundreds of years.
yeah, but I mean, they
could do
made
the
it seem
same
like
thing,
he was
right?
disintegrated at the end of the movie,
The
like he melted away or something like that.
The thing
he'll
is
be
though
back.
is that with Apocalypse, he's kind
I
of.
just want them
with
to
one,
let,
with
just
one
let X-Men
mole-
go to Marvel Cinematic Universe.
with one molecule of Apocalypse, he's still there. That's the problem.
I know, but
so.
I mean, just let them go. They need to let X-Men go. Like, I just don't feel like what they're trying to do with it. It feels too different than the tone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I feel like X-Men would do a lot better being tied to that universe.
Yeah.
Especially with like Silver Surfer, Galactus, and Guardians of the Galaxy, these types of things. And I don't know.
Except they need the X-Men Quicksilver in the
Yes,
Devo,
definitely, because he was the best part of the
that
movie.
fool was
Yeah.
dope, dude. I like
That's what I
him.
heard.
He's hella funny, dude.
I heard that scene was badass.
Yeah,
The
it was-
kick-ass version of Quicksilver, he's a bitch.
Yeah.
And this Quicksilver is a badass.
Yeah,
he was dope.
badass, dude.
Yeah.
So.
And he was good. He was good in the last movie too.
Yeah, he was
They switched
great.
back.
And I like that they revealed that Magneto's his father.
Yep.
And the thing is like I was watching this interview with this like young Asian chick. I don't know if she was Rogue or who the hell she was. Kitty Pryde or something.
Jubilee.
Whatever. And so they
Same
did some
thing.
interview with her. I'm like, okay, she's gonna be in the movie, right? She had like 2 lines. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, don't interview this chick who has 2 fucking lines in the movie.
The thing is, though, is that she didn't know because, like, there's that part where they go to the mall. Well, there was supposed to be a larger scene there.
They cut it out.
Yeah.
They got cut. She was pissed.
And
'Cause that was her scene.
And they were supposed
Man,
to
who
like.
cares? We don't want to see you at the fucking mall.
And
Well,
they
there
were
was like a
supposed to
fight
show her powers and all that.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. They're supposed to show her powers. Like there was like another mutant with them and stuff. I know
You
it
think
was
they'll
like,
have it in the extended version?
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
I'm sure.
Oh,
if
dude,
it's on
they,
Blu-ray. it's gonna be-
they've already announced there's going to be an extended version that's like an additional 30 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did with Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah. Speaking of that, that's the second thing I want to talk to you guys about. The Batman vs Superman extended edition is going to be rated R.
That's good.
What do you guys think about that? Do you think that this could be a thing for these type of big tentpole comic book movies where they aren't rated R in the theater, but since they're so dark enough or adult themed enough that they lend themselves to a rated R home video release?
I personally would rather see the. I'm like, all right, I look at it like this way. Brazil, there's 3 fucking cuts, right? There's theatrical, there's the Love Conquers All, and then there's the director's cut, the Terry Gilliam cut.
Yes, sir.
My favorite one is obviously the director's cut.
Of course.
And that's the way that the director wanted the movie to be. But then you get the big wigs involved, and they have to cut it down for the movie and cut it out for time and all that crap, so you get the theatrical version.
Yep.
And then there's that stupid Love Conquers All version.
It was a TV version, by the way.
Is that what that was?
The TV
Yeah, that
version.
was the
Oh,
TV
okay.
version. Yeah.
But I always prefer the director's cuts because that's
course.
how that director envisioned
Except
it.
for Troy. They fucked with the soundtrack and it was shitty.
And except for
Payback.
Oh my god,
Terrible.
The director's cut is so bad.
I don't think I've ever seen the director's cut for Payback.
Don't. It's fucking shitty.
Because if you see it on TV or like or on the DVD, it's you can't find
the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray has the director's cut.
oh.
You have to get the DVD.
But then
Yeah,
even
dude,
the
it's so
director's
bad.
cut, Ridley Scott's version of Blade Runner is completely different.
I know.
There's additional scenes, and then there's a ton of voiceover from Deckard.
Yeah.
It's like it's a completely feeling movie.
The same thing with
completely
Dune.
different feeling movie.
Dune is the same way.
Doing the
Yeah.
same way.
The theatrical cut's like an hour and a half, and like the
dude,
real movie's
it was
like 3.5 hours.
long. It's way better. Than
And it's like I always, well, with the exception of the examples you guys provided, which I have yet to see, I always prefer the director's cut.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
if Zack Snyder's like, hey, this is the movie I wanted, it's an additional half hour, it's a lot more violent. For me, if I'm going to be dropping $15-20, or actually more than that because I'm taking the wifey, I want to see the actual version
In the theater.
in the theater.
yeah.
Or at
in the
least have an
experience.
option where there's a second release where you could go see the theatrical version or you could see the director's cut in the theater.
I don't understand
That'd be
why they
interesting.
can't, like, let's say out of the however 12 showings they have a day. Why can't one of them be a full version of it?
I think it has to do with the time.
I
And
know
that's why
that.
they. It's like the reason why
but-
they split up Kill Bill, because if the movie's over a certain amount of time, you can only show it a certain amount of times in a
Right.
day in the
which
theater.
cuts in the revenue
and
and
it cuts
all
in the
that
revenue. So
garbage.
that's why they.
But I
do
mean,
it.
like you look at movies nowadays. You've got the regular version. You've got the 3D version. You got the
IMAX
IMAX 3D version. You got the XD version. You got the 4D version. It's like there's so many other versions of this film across the country. Why can't one of those versions be a director's cut?
I agree.
I think it's because they're just trying to get it out as soon as possible, and they're working until the last deadline, until it goes to the printing press, so to speak. And I don't know, like, I mean, obviously some of these movies are projected digitally, so you could just send it like an hour before you have to make the first showing, right, on that Thursday. But I just don't think the directors have time to cut the movie twice.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah, it's BS.
You guys want to keep talking about this then? Cut
Hey,
it as a mini
whatever you guys
episode.
want to talk about, I got this shit recording.
Okay, so we'll just keep talking a little bit more about this Xmen thing. I wanted to go back to this for a second. First of all, I was disappointed with the way his lips look. Didn't look anything like Apocalypse lips look. And I don't know if you could make it that way or
they
not,
didn't
but it actually looked like a dude with makeup on.
They didn't look succulent.
I thought they did a good job.
His outfit looked dope.
imaging, Apocalypse as a humanoid, because in reality he looks like almost like a robot.
Yeah.
In
the comic.
in the comic, and in reality he is a human. Because when they show him when he's like in Egypt, he has those weird looking lips, but he's a human. He isn't like
He's just a
Apocalypse.
weird looking, like
He's a-
salamander looking person.
Yeah, he's a weird looking dude. But I thought they did a good job.
Oscar
imaging-
Isaac's
Was,
dope,
was,
of course.
wasn't that his mutant form? Like when because he's the first mutant, and
Yeah,
when he's like,
and that's his-
I don't know what his name was, Albin Sahir or whatever
Yeah,
his name
yeah,
is. Like,
yeah.
didn't he physically look different than other humans?
He did look different from other humans,
Yeah.
and
so he had like some sort of like physical difference
And he-
before he turned himself blue.
yeah, I mean he can make himself look like anything, mind you.
It was weird how there were so many blue characters in there, though.
It
No,
was-
that's Mr. Sinister.
No, Apocalypse make him turn to look into anything he wants because he has the power of molecular change, so you can just.
My boy was telling them like some of the stuff where like in the movie how he could change other people's molecules was not a comic book a power that he had in the comic. He can only change his own molecules. Is that true or not?
Well, he couldn't. He didn't change other people's molecules.
Yeah, he made people dissolve.
Did he?
Yeah, he just remembered like in the first time you see him out in the streets of Egypt, those guys try to run up on him or run up on old girl Storm. This fool just turns around and like cuts him like with nothing.
No,
And they're, like, just dissolved.
he pulled sand
He
off
pulled
the
sand
door.
off the wall.
Yeah,
on
but
the
he's
wall.
still controlling molecules.
Oh yeah, no,
and he
Yeah, but he's
and
not-
He
he's
did
not-
make those guys in the factory melt. They turned into nothing.
No, he got sunk into the ground.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so
No,
that is his power then?
Yeah, he can control molecules like the Earth. Like that whole where they show that he could like transform Cairo into his thing. He could do that.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they showed
I mean-
at the end of Days of Future Past, the end credit scene. They show him like
building
building
the-
He was
the
building
pyramid
stuff, not
Yeah.
necessarily like making it out of nothing.
No,
forming it
no,
out of
he's not making it
nothing.
out of nothing.
Well,
He's
no,
making it out
but
of
he's
stuff
but
that's
the
around.
fact is that he can manipulate those molecules.
Yeah,
so
and
like with the
that's-
sand, he was able to lift the sand off the wall
Yeah.
and use it to slice through fools' throats.
Yeah.
So here's my other question: when they were fighting, and I don't know, I don't think you saw this.
No,
part,
I didn't
Devo,
get that
but
far.
at the Goose, but at the end they were fighting. They made it seem like they distracted him enough to make him do a bunch of different things that he couldn't like stop them all. But it just seemed not realistic, considering like this fool could destroy a city, but yet he can't concentrate on 5 or 6 things at once. It was weird.
It's been like that though in comic books.
Even in the comics
Because
like that?
he's still no matter what he's still a human, and since he's not a telepath, he can't just be everywhere at once. He still has limitations.
So there's something about like his blood is susceptible to Magneto and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I don't think his
it has
blood.
iron in it.
I don't think his
Does
blood.
he have blood? I mean, what was?
I don't know, but I mean, he wasn't susceptible. Magneto was like throwing stuff at him. Wasn't
I
he?
mean, I guess in one of the comics, I was told.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I didn't get that
Not
far.
in the movie, though. Of course,
Yeah.
not in the movie. But I don't know if he bled or I don't remember if he bled or not.
I mean, he's still
in the
human,
movie.
so I'm sure he can bleed. But I mean, I don't know.
So
yeah.
yeah.
I thought, like I said, I thought it was a good portrayal. I mean, the story was kind of weird, but then again, a lot of the movie universe stories are kind of weird.
They are. I mean, at least with Marvel, they're not too far off the mark.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like with Civil War, it had to be vastly different because
Yeah,
of all the
it
licensing
has
and
to
stuff
be
like that.
vastly
But
different, so.
when you look at X-Men and Fantastic Four, they're just like, for me personally, they're way off the mark.
Yeah.
And I understand not wanting to just have movie adaptations of stories we already know from the comics. But like, if you're going to do an X-Men origin film, like, have Iceman, Beast, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Angel, the original X-Men, and start from there.
That was my problem with that one too. I'm like, Havoc is Scott Summers' younger brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
I'm like, and that's what I was telling you. I'm like, Havoc, Scott Summers is the older brother. I mean, that was one of my big problems. Like, why the fuck is Havoc in here?
Yeah.
And then they killed him off.
Yeah, they killed him off in this movie.
So no X Factor then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we don't know if they killed him off or not. They just couldn't find
said it was
him.
close
But according to
blast.
Clint,
he's close
according to Clint in the movies, you got to kill motherfuckers off.
But they do kill people off in the movies. And that's what they do.
And without Havoc, there can't be X Factor.
Yep.
Because Scott Summers tells Havoc to be the leader of X Factor.
Actually, no, because they could start X Factor because the original X-Men leave X-Men to start X Factor.
That's true.
And then Alex takes over.
Alex
so
takes over,
maybe
yeah.
as they become the X Factor, something happens and they're able to resurrect Alex or something
Yeah,
like that. And he's like,
that's
"You must
true.
lead my team."
Is Mystique immortal?
I don't think so.
But you can't tell how old she is.
Right.
Because,
She could be like the Red Woman,
the Red Woman.
Melisandre from Game of Thrones.
She's ancient, bro.
Yeah, I don't think she is immortal. I'm sure you could probably look it up, but I don't think she is.
Yeah, I'm like 99% sure she's
She
not.
had a relationship with Magneto?
In the comic books, I don't think
so. I think
so.
she was just like one of his henchmen.
Yeah, she was a henchman for everyone, though. I mean,
that-
shit.
She got around.
Yeah, she is a henchman for everyone. And she like people like in the movies portray Mystique as a hero. She is a villain, my friends.
Yep.
She is a villain through and through.
Yeah. I can't recall any time in the comics, again, I've read every single aspect.
One, yeah,
but I don't ever recall her being a hero.
And
That's why I
and
don't
ever
like this
being
X-Men thing,
part
man.
of
They
an
mess with
X-Men.
all that stuff,
Yep.
man.
And like Moira Taggart, she's got to be Scott. No, she's Irish, right?
She's Irish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her and Banshee.
Yeah, Banshee. Yeah, exactly. Those two like have a kid, and that kid is like one of the most powerful. Is it her and the kid? No,
Charles Xavier and Moira McTaggart.
No, Banshee and her. No, it was their kid before.
I thought
that.
they were brother and sister.
Are they brother and sister?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they have a kid and it's like a pool of muck.
I was like
No,
wondering.
it's her. She has a kid though with someone. I don't remember who it was. So.
In the beginning of the movie, I kept thinking that little girl was Scarlet Witch, and I guess it wasn't Magneto's kid.
Oh no! But they showed her in Days of Future Past.
Yeah, they showed
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
When?
Because there's a scene when
It's a scene when Magneto is talking on the TV.
Yeah, and then
who's the mother?
That chick.
yeah, whoever that
But
broad was.
Quicksilver and
Romanova,
Scarlet Witch have the same mother.
I think so.
Yeah, they're a brother and
That
sister.
woman that was in the house with him.
According to the movie, yeah. But like,
But
they
who
did-
is she?
I don't know. She's a woman.
But I mean, like
She's a nobody.
I know that, but I'm saying
She's a
in the
placeholder.
comic, this woman that gives birth to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch is a real character, or she's just a normal human
I
woman?
don't think so.
I don't know. I don't. They might be like when I was reading them. I don't think they ever elaborated on her. But I mean, obviously, no. But Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are blood. They're literally their brother and sister. So she is his little sister. So
I'm like because if that was the case, then she would already had to have been born by the same woman at that point.
Oh, but the one because in the movie because that's like a separate family that he has. Like he has no idea.
So the Quicksilver that woman was not his biological mother.
The one in
this movie,
the third movie. No,
in this movie.
No, because there was that woman that Magneto was living with. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm okay. Like the Quicksilver in this movie is Magneto's son.
Yeah.
I was assuming that the woman that was his mom
is in there too.
Is like Magneto had sex with her and they had Quicksilver.
Yeah, I understand that.
But that's also Scarlet Witch's mom.
Yeah, of
so
course.
Scarlet Witch would have to have been born because she's not like 20 years younger than Quicksilver.
She was shown in Days of Future Past,
but not in this movie.
Well, they can't show her because she's too old. They can't show a Scarlet Witch.
It's just that's why I just feel like X-Men. 20th Century Fox just gotta give it up.
They can't show.
They're messing the whole damn thing up.
They can't show a Scarlet Witch, even if it's like, oh, this is my sister, because people know Quicksilver's sister is Scarlet Witch. That's why they can't show her.
Yeah, so I just looked it up real quick. Whoever that lady is, Magda, or I guess in the Ultimates, she's Isabel. She dies in childbirth.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she's.
So maybe that woman is just like a foster mother or something like that.
Could be, or she could be the actual mother.
Remember, it's
comic.
It's comic book. I mean, Marvel, the universe is different. The movie universe is different. So, but that's the reason why they can't show. They can show her as a little kid, but they just can't show an adult person that might be Scarlet Witch.
So my last question for you guys is before we get out of here, because I guess we're going to do our real topic that we were going to do on our next podcast, so you guys will hear that one, or maybe you will already have heard it. But the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Doctor Strange trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't seen it. No.
It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll look it up while you guys talk.
Yeah, watch it. A lot of people can criticizing it. They think it's Inception in space or Inception in Marvel Universe, but I love Inception. I think it would be awesome.
I think it makes sense. I mean, he doesn't have cosmic abilities, does he? It's just pure magic.
Gooch?
I don't think I think originally it was supposed to be magic, but I think ultimately it was cosmic abilities because he's one of the more powerful mutants.
Yeah.
Or
is he a mutant or he's a magician?
Magician or sorcerer or something.
He is the sorcerer supreme.
Exactly.
He's not a mutant.
He's not a mutant though.
No, he's not a mutant. He's just it's all magic.
So I'm not too sure where he got his powers from, though. Is it? It's obviously
he learns from the ancient one. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. So
he develops it through practice.
Practice,
exactly. But like again, he's supposed to be one of the more powerful.
But he's like adept before that, of course, at something, right?
Well, because I know before that he's like this world famous surgeon. And
he was actually a doctor.
Yeah, and then he gets in this accident, and his hands are essentially crushed, and he can never use them again. So that's why, why in the at the beginning of the trailer, they focus so much on his hands. How he's always and then even when he goes through the whole magic thing, he's holding his hands up like this because they're all jacked up. And I think the ancient one's showing that he can use his hands and stuff like that. So he's all like weirded out.
Oh damn! Yeah.
But. I honestly don't know a whole lot about the character.
Yeah, neither do I.
I mean, the greatest experience I have from him is Marvel Heroes.
Yeah,
and just see people run around, blasting, bolts of whatever it's called, Wrath or Croc Rock or whatever the magic spell is. But
is he connected to Guardians of the Galaxy or something?
No, I know he's a member of the Illuminati, which during the Civil War it was a group of some of the strongest, more elder mutants. So it was like Professor X, Submariner was there. I want to say Black Panther was there, The Watcher, Doctor Strange, and one more. Oh, I think Iron Man. Oh, no, it wasn't Iron Man. I don't remember. But
which, by the way, apparently Namor is back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. I don't know where he was before, if he'd been using anything or something, but apparently he's like Marvel has his rights again.
So well, that's good.
Maybe in like Phase 4, they're saying there could be some sort of Namor appearance or a movie or something.
Maybe,
like
but
that.
I don't see him fitting into Infinity War.
I'm thinking to myself, like, they're going in space, they're not going under the water.
Yeah, I don't even think he was part of Infinity War, right? Was he? I don't remember. I know they're gonna make a Secret Wars one, so they could put him in that because Secret Wars is just ridiculous. There's been so many Secret
Gauntlet
Wars.
was the first one. War was the second one, right? Because the second one is the one with all the doppelgangers.
The Infinity War?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that one he was in.
Yeah.
Because I remember I had this poster. It was actually fucking badass.
The doppelganger
poster.
one. I hope they do that. The doppelganger one is good. That's a good one.
And that'd be a really cool way to be able to
bring in more of these other mutants or beings.
Yeah. And they're basically just evil versions of all the characters, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, I remember specifically there was a Namor.
Yeah, there was a Namor. There was a doppelganger for everything. So there's like a doppelganger Carnage.
Yep.
Which was even more evil and stupid than the original one. It's just funny. He wasn't good. He was just more evil.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And the doppelganger for Daredevil looked like an actual demon.
Yeah.
It was
cool.
actually pretty badass.
Yeah. So
I'm just waiting for my boy Blade to come back. But I don't know if New Line Cinema still has his rights or whatever.
No, I don't think so.
I
think it went back to Marvel.
It went back to Marvel.
God.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't know if it should be
They do some
Wesley?
sort of a cult type thing. No, it can't be.
It
Wesley.
can't be
He's
Wesley,
too old
right?
now for-
It can't be Wesley, but I think they should bring it back. I like
Blade.
I think Marvel got Blade and Ghost Rider back.
And to be honest,
Oh, awesome!
and to
I
be
love
honest with you, if they can get a Spider-Man, I don't think they have Spider-Man back, right? It's still Sony.
No,
They're
they're
splitting
working
it.
with them now.
So-
They're splitting
okay.
it.
So-
They're letting Marvel make the movies, but Sony still makes the money.
Okay, so I hope if they have to reintroduce Blade, I hope if it's like in like Spider-Man 2 or something, where he's fighting against Mephisto. And then
No, it was Mobius, wasn't it?
Mobius. He's fighting against Mobius, which is like a vampire character, and he's a classic Spider-Man villain, right? Yeah. And that's how Blade and Spider-Man met, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
And that's how Blade was introduced into the Marvel universe. Was that Spider-Man was fighting
I
against
thought it was
Mobius?
Tomb of Dracula first, though.
Was he? I thought the first comic book I see it was like
I
introducing
remember
Blade.
Mobius, but it could be right. It could be Dracula.
Yeah. Well, it was Mobius is the one where.
But like that was the first time people really noticed him.
Yeah.
of
Well, it
course.
was. It was.
I don't think it's maybe his first appearance ever.
I
But
don't
it's
know.
like one of his.
I don't know.
of his
It's
big
one of
ones.
those ones introducing this new character. So it was introducing Blade.
I wish they would have some sort of like a cult type movie where they have like all these characters in there, Blade and whatever, maybe Doctor Strange or something like that. Some of these other occultish type Marvel characters. I know there's not a lot, not like there is in DC, but it was pretty cool actually.
Yeah. But like Blade was always more of a minor one. Not like
Yeah, of
Doctor
course.
Strange was a big part. Dude. Doctor
Yeah.
Strange taught Scarlet Witch how to control her powers and become one of the most powerful beings in the universe again.
Yeah.
So Doctor Strange had a huge part in the Marvel universe.
Well, I can't wait to see
Yeah.
that movie. It comes
It's gonna-
August or something.
it's gonna be
right? Or
interesting.
September or something like that.
Later in the year.
Yeah.
November maybe or something. Well, I can't wait.
And it's
to
got
see
Chiwetel in it.
it. My boy,
I love Chiwetel.
my boy.
It's gonna be interesting.
So we will see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye. See you.